everyone to a little opinion piece today, and as you can see from the title, I've called it Life After Underworlds. This is not a fact video, this is not a rumor video, this is a gut feeling video based on a few things, but for me personally I think Underworlds is running its final legs at GW, and that's something that I like. Not at all, because it's my really go-to game, which you can see by the amount of games I've played on this channel and events I've attended. But even though I liked first edition more than second edition with the boards and everything, but that's something else. But there are a few writings on the wall. I'm gonna go over them. I also talked last week on the Warhammer Open in Maastricht with a few community members and people, and well, the sentiment was echoed, including one well, rather involved GW person who well, could of course don't confirm anything or deny anything, but well, the grin that he gave or the sad smile was for me an extra drop on the heater. Fact is, point one, they are rebooting the Age of Sigmar world next year. So it's gonna come all together in 5th edition, become one planet, soft reboot, whatever you wanna call it. Luckily not the shenanigans of the old times from Warhammer Fantasy, but there's gonna be a lot of changes to it. And my personal thing is that Underworlds and Warcry will not survive that transition. Now I know there are people who still believe Warcry is alive, but let's say it's a terminally ill patient. Sorry, I'm gonna have a drink first. It's 50 degrees colder than yesterday, so hot coffee at times works wonders to keep the voice going. But yeah, so that's one thing that I have a feeling, and what I believe is going to happen also for their open systems is, remember that 2024 patented name they still haven't done anything with, Mosscairn. I think Mosscairn is going to appear in 5th edition as a new skirmish game, which keeps the size of a Warcry band, but not the let's build with all the factions of Warcry like you can do now. You can have a warband that's like my favorite army, Ein of Deepkin, which is only Eidonf in name and is made up of Stormcast, Cities of Sigmar, Dodge of K, whatever you can smack together. I don't believe in that. I think it's going to be a Age of Sigmar fantasy version of Kill Team. So fixed teams, perhaps some changes on gears, but between 6 to 10 models for a warband on the same size of cardboard with some terrain and everything. So you're gonna get their equivalent of kill zones, whatever they're gonna call it. But that's, I think, first of all, that's going to happen, and that's going to replace Underworlds on the Open Circuit and the World Championship. So you will have all 3-day events, because now Underworlds usually is only a 2-day event compared to the other 3 ones, having like Kill Team and Big Brother 40k and Age of Sigmar and Little Brother Mosscairn, let's call it now, because we don't have any name, but that's something I really think about. There's also writings on the wall on that point. If you look at the latest City of Ash Spearhead box, at first I thought Spearhead would replace it, but yeah, it's more equivalent to Combat Patrol, no war mid building, so that would just be everybody taking the, at that moment, meta Spearhead, and very boring tournament. So I'll let that idea go, and that's when I realized, when I was thinking about that, about the Mosscairn pattern still out there, that that will be a thing. Now, if that happens, so be it. We had fun for Underworlds. After all, it's a specialist game. It ran for nearly 10 years, so I think we're gonna have now in November one final expansion box, which, as I said in an earlier video, will bring back the magic dice, not as war scroll abilities, but as the 2 decks that will be in there will be using those. Mark my words. Because then they can just release for one final year the Domitans and the Skabiks and everything, and then they're all warbands are out. Well, perhaps the Savage Orcs and the Beastmen, because they're never coming back. They're in the old world now. But yeah, that's something that's I guess is going to happen. One final year, maybe 1 or 2 more warbands, and then with 5th edition it just will dwindle out slowly. like Warcry, become online only for purchases and then just disappear. A fond memory, community still playing it, but no official support. Perhaps maybe in the first 2 years, like a little FAQ update or something, and that will stop also, and the game will go to the realm of happy memories. So that's one of the things that I think. But as I said, writing on the wall with the City of Ash, it also has the objective play and everything now. More elements of Warcry, of Underworlds coming in there. There's the Spearhead boxes where the Warcry and Age of Sigmar Underworlds warbands are being inserted into, so that you can still have them. Probably keep playing them in Legend status and Age of Sigmar, maybe, who knows, because they're just... Underworlds has the best models they ever produced, and Age of Sigmar already has some gorgeous models. But yeah, that's something. If I would say on a percentage scale, 70% certain that's gonna happen. But yeah, that's like writings on the wall. How would you say it? But that of course leaves also my personal thingies. Where will I get my game fixes from? Well, first of all, for some small skirmish gaming at the club and everything, then it will be at all not competitive. We are going to start very soon with a Frostgrave 2nd edition campaign. I painted up my warband. Actually today when I'm taping this, I finished basing them. So I'm ready for it. Well, this is completely opposite to Underworlds, where Underworlds is all about building a competitive band. This is all about the story, which I just love to do. Many people often mistake me for an ultra competitive player because they only see me at events, but in the end I'm always the guy who's organizing the events, like doing a Warfleet's one-page rule event this Sunday. I wrote all the custom scenarios and everything, so give this guy a break. I'm not that competitive like some think. Same like with the Escalation League that I had to drop last year in the Old World. I was the only one building a thematic army, so... Same with this year, the Age of Sigmar, by the way, that I'm running. I've got like a thematic army compared to all the monstrosity, big heavy hitters that you see now, the other already appearing, but yeah. It is what it is, it's just how I like to play. I always think Rabble has its place, and quantity is a quality in itself, and whatever you want to call it, it just looks cool. It just looks cool if you have an army with lots of infantry models and cavalry and everything, and not just 3 big monsters. Or, you know, the famous 5 Bloodthirster army. That's not an army. That's a bunch of raving demons. But yeah, that's a personal taste. Now, apart from that, of course, that also will leave me with, because Frostgrave, not competitive at all, I need my tournament fix. I'm not really for the wins and the trophies, but just to meet people and be able to click a bit higher in a way of thinking and way of playing compared to the more narrative of casual playing. So I've been thinking about it. At first logical seemed, of course, the Moscairn, which, well, probably if it hits off here in Belgium, that will be option number 1. But the first years it's not gonna be much. I expect maybe three events maximum, but we'll see how it all goes. If it actually happens, as I said, all a rumor. And well, sorry, I'm coming back again. And then I thought, let's go back to an older love. And now I'm not talking the old world, and I'm not talking Age of Sigmar, because those are a misery to transport, especially the Fiddly Idenif. I should have picked a very more solid army back in the day. But then I thought, which game can I play on a semi-competitive level? Just have fun, have a good game system with not too much discussions. And then I thought, oh, but wait, there is my biggest love ever of Games Workshop games. The middle strategy battle game, or the Lord of the Rings for, yeah, well, the simpler explanation. And to that end, as I'm running now for the 2nd year, you can find the little flyer at the end. Go to T3 or through BCP to register if you watch this and you want to play some Lord of the Rings event. It was very casual, 500 points. We had 4 new players last year and they all had a blast. Yeah, because that's I'm not gonna say balanced, because not one game is balanced. Not even chess is balanced because white always goes first. But that looked like a good choice because an army of 500 or 700 points, that's maybe like between 30 to 50 models, especially as I play a lot of Florbrianels, not the cheapest but not the most expensive force. So you don't need a heap of models, but what's more, they're not that fiddly 500 details sticking out in all directions, Age of Sigmar style fantasy models, but more smoother, closer to historical game models. So they go better in a small carrying case instead of big boxes to transport your army. Sure, Lord of the Rings, never on an open, license thingies, but to that end, maybe the Muskern. I'm just keep calling it that until we have an official name. So if I say Muskern, you just think new 5th edition skirmish game for Age of Sigmar. So okay, but to that end, it's easy to transport, you get fun games, has a great community as well, so you might want to check it out. And yeah, they're fun to paint, and of course it is the Lord of the Rings, it is the grandmother of all fantasy. But that's about it of this small opinion piece about wargaming life after Underworlds. It's not doom and gloom, I think, as I said in the beginning. We've still got a full year and a half to go, but to be honest, I think after that we're gonna wrap it up. There won't be a third edition. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time for more stuff and talking Underworlds. If you want, I'm going to Barcelona. If you want to sponsor me, buy me a coffee. Link is down below in the link tree. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. For watching this video, and if you want to support me, check out the link tree above for all my channels, so you can have a look there, or my affiliate links, so there's a little kickback to the channel for more content. And if you really like, you can always buy me a coffee. Thanks and bye bye.